Hi guys, we're here today with an update on the not so resilient Jenkins. So, you know, I think a lot of us knew that this day was going to come eventually, and I would have had a problem with it no matter what day it came. Let me make that clear. They have created a GoFundMe for legal services and to help better their children's lives. Now, like I said, I'm not here to give commentary on what's going on in the court case or the custody situation. I just want to talk about the audacity of these people to create a GoFundMe for any reason. Drew's doing the gig work. Drew got a job which has now been proven that that's just BS. He doesn't have any job. He's doing his gig work and Steph is making money on social media. At a certain point, if the money that you're making off of social media is not bettering your situation, then social media is not your job. If it's not meeting the basic needs of you and your family, then social media is not your job. If you have to come to the internet to ask people for additional funds, then social media is not your job. The absolute refusal of these two to actually go out and work and do something, it's just getting really pathetic now. Initially it was like, oh, this is crazy, like maybe we'll see some kind of change happen here. Nothing happened. They got evicted. They continued to make money on social media. We've got cheating and siblings coming forward, and Steph's still current husband is an SO. She's over here using the Jenkins last name, but she's still legally married to an SO, Stephanie Thompson. So this whole thing and just the blatant refusal to help themselves or properly utilize the money that they've made on social media is insane. And the fact that now you have a GoFundMe that people are actually donating to. People are giving her money. What kind of backwards society are we living in over here? What kind of backwards mentality is that to sit here and allow them to come and put up a GoFundMe and collect money? So those people that have donated, whether you used your name or you donated as anonymous, how do you reconcile that? How do you make that okay? Now here's my whole thing. I'm here for GoFundMe. I haven't donated to many GoFundMes, but the ones that I have donated to, I felt were really legitimate. These are people who are either facing, an emergency type situation, they have a sick pet, something catastrophic happened that they were not planned for. So I'm not 100% anti-GoFundMe, but I think that when you're lazy grifters and you're refusing to work and now you want to put up a GoFundMe asking people for more money so you can better your children's lives, y'all had the opportunity to do anything. Steph and Drew should have been working opposite shifts. They should have been saving the money that they were making on social media. And then you wonder why people are slinging around shrug use as a possible answer to where the money is going.
We all knew the GoFundMe was coming one day, but I can honestly say that I didn't think they would use legal fees for the reason for their GoFundMe. So you heard that correctly. Stephanie went over to the other social media platform and posted a GoFundMe. It says it's humbling to make this post and reach out for help with all the negativity and lies around about us. We are hesitant to have faith that we would receive any kind of support. We want to have faith in our community. We see the strength and dedication our community has behind their support, and we can't thank y'all enough. We don't expect handouts, and I truly hope the community can see just how long we tried to go without making this GoFundMe. We discussed opening a GoFundMe while we were still in the apartment, but we wanted to get our lives back on track without asking for help. Sometimes that's just not the reasonable approach. Well, exactly, because you didn't get your life back on track. We don't expect y'all to help us with funding our housing journey. We need to secure legal assistance, and that is what we are raising funds for. So it wasn't important to get the kids a stable home, but it is important to ensure that a little boy doesn't see his mother. Something that the court legally said they needed to do, and they have not followed that court order. In the GoFundMe, it says a lot of the same things, but it does say we need our supporters now more than ever to help us ensure we can maintain the safety and placement of a kiddo who was and is perfectly happy with his family. And they've already got $90. Now, there is a lot of controversy with the Resilient Jenkins right now because there's supposedly a side piece. I personally think something seems really fishy about it all. I at first thought it was Stephanie and Drew doing it. Could it potentially be somebody else? I guess. But to me, like, none of that matters. None of that matters. At the very end of it, it's always been about the kids. And the fact that this woman can sit here and be like, oh, I wasn't going to ask for help when we were getting ready to be kicked out of our home, but I will ask now to make sure that Drew's son doesn't see his mother because my kids don't get to see their other parent. And I just don't think that's fair because ultimately that's what I think it comes down to. Drew and Stephanie admitted on Alive that if it wasn't for Stephanie, he would have given his son back to his mother. So what is this all about? None of this makes sense. Again, I think there's a lot of noise with this whole potential side piece and him cheating. We know he's not a great guy, so that is not surprising. And the fact that they finally set up a GoFundMe to ensure that his son does not see his other parent to live a happier, healthier life proves to me they don't care. They are going to stay in that goddamn motel for as long as humanly possible. They haven't done anything to make changes to their housing situation like she keeps claiming they have, and they won't be. They want to make sure that those kids stay within their care for a reason, and I want to know that reason. There is something really sinister, in my opinion, about why she does not want that little boy to be back in his mother's care. And I'm not just saying her, because I think this loser up here, he does not give a damn. He does not give a damn about any of it. If he did, he would have been working this entire time. So the last thing I will say is I would encourage people to really sit and think about what you're donating to. They are not transparent. They are not going to tell you the truth. And that money is going to go into all kinds of different places. They don't work. They don't do anything to support their children, and that is why they're in the predicament that they are. And again, they are doing nothing to get these children out of this predicament. This is not your money going to some good cause. A good cause would have been earlier on before they got evicted, coming up with a GoFundMe. Or maybe instead of getting all those Christmas gifts last year, they should have set a GoFundMe up so that they could have had a down payment on a rental property or a house to have fit their entire family so then they wouldn't have been evicted.
The only other thing I want to say about this is y'all weren't embarrassed enough by that person exposing Drew as a weird little freak, infidelity, unfaithful little guy. Y'all weren't embarrassed enough about that was just exposed. And no, I don't think that this person that exposed Drew has any desire to do anything with him. I think that they prove their point. That Drew does not give two F's about stuff. She can say whatever she wants to say. But those exchanges proved it. If your partner is going to talk to somebody like that in DMs or texts or whatever, gross is gross. You can call it a troll, you can call it a hater, you can talk about somebody that has too much time on their hands. That's all good. But they exposed Drew, and that was the whole point. And they succeeded. And y'all look stupid, and now just a couple days later, you want to come out here and make a GoFundMe? Oh, Lord. Like I said, at this point, it's just getting really pathetic. And it's getting tiring. It's getting tiring seeing the level of pathetic that they can put out day after day. But either way, I got a few inquiries. Did you see the GoFundMe? What do you think about the GoFundMe? Did you see that they posted GoFundMe? So I figured, let's just make this video. That's how I feel about it. It's pathetic, it's useless, and anyone that's donating to it, it might be a lost cause. But either way, that's it for today. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.